This is Marie, and welcome to Marie's Chatty Tarot. And today I want to do a quick video about the UK, United Kingdom. Um, I want to point out that a few weeks ago I've learned that the British pound collapsed, and soon after, the Prime Minister Liz Truss, the lady Prime Minister Liz Truss, she resigned after a mere 6 week being in that position. Now, from what I understand, she put in place an economic agenda that tanked the pound to the point of the pound being near to dying, collapsing. The only way he hasn't collapsed completely was because the government stepped in and basically put the pound into a artificial induced coma to keep it alive, so it doesn't go tank down the drain. At least that's how I'm understanding. Now, as soon as she resigned, this other gentleman, his name is Mr. Rishi Sunak, is now the new prime minister. I'm gonna link an article from the New York Post that kind of talks a little bit about him. He looks great on paper, to be honest. So I want to take a look around the UK, and I want to ask two questions. The first one is about the British pound, and the second one is about Rishi Sunak. So, and the reason why I want to focus on the UK today is because the UK has been the center for financial transaction for the world, and it is also where is the base, the headquarter for the fiat SWIFT system, the fiat dollar and the SWIFT system. That's where all the globalists are located, really. The powers that be that makes the financial decisions in the world. So if the British pound collapse, the whole fiat dollar, the whole SWIFT system is going to collapse along with it. And I'm talking about, Australia, US, Canada, and a lot of Latin countries and African countries as well. So, and side note, I realized that a lot of countries have started to implement Bitcoin as a way to mitigate the damage in the event that the British pound collapse occurs or collapse completely. So I want to take a look around the British pound. First question that I have is, how is the British pound going to look like in the next 6 months? Just to give us an idea of, what the landscape is going to be like. And that will give us an idea as well how to better prepare ourselves, because if it does something happen to the British pound, we are going to feel the ripple from this, because, we are in a globalist world and everything is connected. Even though we are miles away, we are connected financially, globally. So let's see what the British pound is going to look like in the next 6 months. Before we go any further, do feel free to share, like, subscribe. I would appreciate that. And I'm going to be using the Robin Hood Tarot deck today. British pound is going to look like in the next 6 months. Sun card, the question. Three of Swords, situation. Eight of Coins, the past. the Empress, present, Two of Cups, potential outcome, Ten of Swords, clarification, Five of Coins, clarification. Now this, there's a lot to say here. Okay, the first card is the Sun card. So the Sun card is usually a beautiful card. It's contentment, it's happiness. But in this particular situation, the Sun card means shedding light on something, shedding light on the British pound, on what's been going on. And I think it forces people to do some research about how the World Bank or the SWIFT system or the fiat dollar has been operating, and also to show, with the Ten of Sword in underneath aspecting that card, it tells me that it's shedding light on the fact that the pound is either dead or dying. Now all tens are ending. That gives me a strong indication that the pound is already dead or already has collapsed. I'm guessing the reason why the news is not saying this is probably because they don't want to drive panic. But the 10 tells me that it's dead underwater. There's nothing there. So that is the bad news. Situation. Three of Sword. Three of Sword is a card, as you can see, it is a sad card. It's a card of loss. It's a card of grief. Sadness, and all swords are information, facts, thoughts, and that tells me that a lot of people are gonna be hurt once they realize. The news may not be saying this, but you know, when you go throughout your everyday life, work, putting gas in your car, you're gonna feel it in your pocket. And I think that's what this card is trying to say. And to either further emphasize it, the card underneath as an aspect is the Five of Pentacle. Five of Pentacle is all fives are not exactly great looking cards because it's a card of conflict. It's a card of loss, especially when it meaning Pentacle. It means resources. It's going to be a lack of resources, lack in supply chain, lack in money circulation. So because it's a minor and arcana, that tells me that it's going to be a temporary setback, but that period of time is going to really hurt a lot of people in the UK, and we may feel the ripple of it here in the rest of the world. So that's even sadder news. Maybe the potential silver lining or the potential good news is that with the Eight of Pentacle is you see this little boy working on his craft, working on perfecting. He looks like an apprentice, right? That's working at a shop and he's trying to perfect his art. So that tells me with that Eight of Pentacle that somebody or a group in the background has been working diligently in making things better for the people. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, like, further emphasize, is the Empress. The Empress is a card of abundance. It's a card of being bountiful, of having a lot of resources available. It's as if there's a group that's trying to mitigate the fall, so to speak, to make things as comfortable as possible, or at the transition as better as it can be. That things will get better and may get better, but some patience is going to be required. And the uh, uh, with the with the potential outlook, it tells me that with the two of two of uh, uh, pent, cups, that tells me that things are going to work itself out in the future. Things are going to get better. Um, it's just that, that period of time is going to be where everybody's going to have to hang in there, so to speak, with that Ten of Sword, which means the ending of the system, with that five of uh, uh, five of Pentacle, telling me that the dollar is going to be devalued, everything is going to collapse, it's going to be very hard, because the value of the pound is not going to be strong. It's going to be very hard to get access to certain resources. It's going to be very hard to get access to, probably, to supplies, and it's going to be hard to do exchange, because if the pound is not worth much, how are you going to do commerce with other countries, between yourselves? So that's the scary part. And let me pull 2 cards, see if things get better. So there's going to be even more period of unrest, period of people being worried, people being depressed, concerned, fearful. King of Cups. And during that period of time, a lot of people are gonna, I wonder if a person is gonna come into the scene to help out with that King of Cups here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like somebody is gonna come about, maybe try to help turn this ship around with that King of Cups. Usually the King of Cups can be somebody who's very approachable, charismatic, somebody who's very good at being relatable to others. So that tells me that there might be somebody who's going to come into the scene to kind of, during, why everything is stormy, why everything is cloudy, why everything is at a loss. He's going to come in and he's going to be able to either reinvigorate people, motivate people, and maybe turn the ship around for the UK and lead you to the promised land. The promised land meaning to a better future, a better financial system. And the 3, I pulled 2 more cards because I really want to see what's going to happen. The 3 of Cups tells me that people are going to unite and things are going to get better. And then either something new is going to happen for you guys, either a new system, either a new money system, or new information that's going to come out that kind of make things a little bit better somehow. So with that Ace of Sword, that tells me usually aces takes about a year to come about. So this is way beyond the 6 months. It looks like during that period of time, it's going to be a pretty rocky road for the UK. So if you guys are financially able, now would be a good time to stock up on food. If you can, stock up on things that you think you may need, so that when things get in a most uncomfortable situation, at least you have something to help you weather that storm for the next few months. Wow. Okay. So hang in there, guys. So the next question that I want to ask quickly is about the new Prime Minister. I'm sure you guys heard. I think I've heard it yesterday. His name is Mr. Rishi Sunak. He is 42 years old, and he is considered the youngest Prime Minister in 200 years. Non-white individual to take this position, and he has a beautiful resume. Apparently he looks great on paper. So now we want to ask the cards, what's his agenda? Is he working to help the people, to lead the people to the promised land, so to speak, or is he here to continue with the world reset and collapse everything in the UK? So let's see what this Rishi Sunak guy is all about. Is he here to help people in the UK? To help navigate, to get things better for them? Or is he just another globalist that works for the World Economic Forum? So let's see what the cards have to say about this gentleman. Okay, first card is the Moon. Answer the question. Page of Cups, the situation. Four of Swords, the past. Knight of Wands, present. Queen of Swords, potential outcome. Ace of Wands, clarification. King of Pentacles, clarification. So the first card that came about is the Moon. Now the Moon is a primal, the Moon represents fear, dysfunction, mystery. It means, you know, things get dark before, things can be dark before before dawn comes about. It also means to proceed with caution. So this gentleman, Mr. Rishi Sunak, it tells me to, you know, to proceed with caution with that guy, that he may not be what he seems. You know, he probably looks great on paper and probably belong to the right party, but he himself, he may not. There might be some question marks about him. So, okay, that's interesting. So the card underneath is the Ace of Wands. That tells me that he might be charismatic, somebody who's going to bring about change, and he's going to be, you know, looking brilliant and looking great to the world, and he's going to bring about growth, change, and all that beautiful stuff, which is fine. But the reason why I'm having pause is because the Page of Cups shows up. Page of Cups is a messenger. The Page of Cups is a young person, very idealistic, very usually idealistic in their way, and it can be a surprise message as well. So I think what the card is trying to say is that people are going to be probably surprised that he is a signal, and or maybe shocked to find out that he's working for the old guard. I mean, old guard, I'm talking about the globalists, the World Economic Forum type of people, the right child of the world, you know, the elites. So I think people may or may not know this, but it probably looks like this is a signal that he is working for these people, or may be pleasantly surprised or not to find out that he's working for the cabal. So I'm guessing that means that he's not working for the people, huh? So it looks like in the past with that four of Swords. So you see this gentleman, he looks like he's dead because he's in stone, but it means that he's in deep meditation. Well, he could be dead too, but it looks like he was probably a sleeper cell that was lying dormant, and he was activated when the moment required to take over. And the reason why I say that, you see him lying dormant, lying in wait in the background until the right moment comes about to um, to come forward as the savior. And this is what this card tells me. The Knight of Wands is usually a military card, is usually somebody very passionate, very motivated, very inspired. But when it is aspecting each other, that tells me that he was probably like a sleeper agent. He was never much in the forefront as much, but he was uh, like the backup person, like the substitute quarterback to come forth if things, if they needed somebody to come to come into to come in place. So that tells me that he was activated to take this position. And the reason why I'm saying this, again, they don't want to say who is behind it because again, there's a lot of mystery surrounding this guy. And again, his being in power is kind of like a signal as well. I wonder if it's a way to wake up the people even further, this, to show them how those elite type of operates. I'm not sure, but potential outcome with that Queen of Sword. Now, I find it interesting is the Queen of Sword that comes about. The Queen of Sword is usually a beautiful card. She is kind of like a reminiscent a bit of the Justice card in the major arcana. The Queen of Swords is somebody that is very very legal minded, somebody very clear what in what is right and what is wrong, very good at articulating facts, ideas, or manipulating facts, ideas. Somebody who's very good at uh, uh, putting forth information, maybe waking up people. So I wonder if his job is to wake up people to the to what the deep states have been doing. Now, usually the King of Pentacles is a beautiful card, but when it is aspected with the moon card, the moon card changed completely the aspect of the spread, because it tainted the waters, so to speak, because that tells me that the King of Pentacles usually is a beautiful card, successful, somebody who's very good at manipulating resources to his favor and being successful out of it. But in this particular situation, the King of Pentacles always represent the bad guys for me, because they have been in power for generation and they had a chance to accumulate that power, and they had a chance to gain control, take control of a lot of the resources of the world. So that tells me that I wonder if he's a plant that was activated to expose the bad guys in some way, shape, or form. I don't know why, but my intuition is strongly leaning in that direction. Or he's putting truth to power in a way that wakes up people and exposing those bad guys. I don't know if he's doing it consciously or unconsciously, but it looks like that's the purpose of him being in power. And then that's gonna bring about a lot of awakening, people being awakened, people being angry, and people being inspired to even further turn away from what the UK has been about for so long. Huh. Okay. And then, yeah. Oh, wow. Another ace. Ace of Sword. So again, Ace of Sword is like new information coming out. It could be a burst of inspiration, a burst of spiritual awakening, burst of facts coming about to change things, or to expose things about this prime minister. Oh wow, change things. Now, Six of Cups. Six of Cups is a card of relations, family relations. It could be a card of friendship. It could be a card of generosity. It could also be a card of being rewarded for a job well done. Something new is going to come about. Information is going to come about, and the information is going to be delivered in a way that's going to be kind and generous to the population. Huh, interesting. I wonder, um, there's different ways of putting out truth and information. I've noticed that people do well when information is given gradually and is given in a way that is non-judgmental, and because people cannot handle the truth, so to speak, and it has to be delivered in a way that is mindful, that is kind to people. So I wonder what kind of information that's going to come about either him or about his reign or about huh uh, or maybe about the deep state, or I wonder if that information is going to be about children as well. So it can go both ways. It could be information that's going to come about what, I wonder if it's during his reign, about kids that have been trafficked. People don't know this, but people are going to have to find out that the royal family has been the center of all of this. So I wonder if during his reign, information about that is going to come about. Interesting. So, overall, it looks like this Mr. Rishi Sunak, he may not be who he appears to be. However, at the same breath, it looks like he's going to be working in a way that's going to seem as if he's working for the bad guys, but his action or the way he comports himself seems to expose the bad guys even further. So makes me believe that, is he a plant? Is he a double agent? I mean, what the? So there's that question mark about that over there, and it looks like a lot of information is going to come out during his reign. And now that he's being activated, it looks like there's going to be probably a lot of information, spiritual awakening. I'm guessing about what's been happening to children. Wow. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. Thank you for your time. Thank you for hanging in there. I know it was a long video. I appreciate you, and feel free to share, like, subscribe. I'm desperate for the attention, and I hope to see you in the next one. And sorry about the dog. Bye.